all of the boroughs and parts of New Jersey and Long Island. And I'm happy to say we are also live on YouTube. We are live on the Underdog Report. It's youtube.com at Underdog Report, so you can join us there and see us live. And you can also go to WPAT930am.com wherever you are in the nation and see us. Today we have we call them quick fire interviews. We have a number of interviews coming on, but the first is Dr. John Brady. He's a forensic psychologist, and this is very interesting. He has spent 25 years analyzing why individuals commit horrible crimes, and he's looked at hundreds of testimonies. And today we're going to talk about his book. It's called Breakdown. And one of the people in his book he talks about is the cage charmer, he calls him. His name is Luigi Maggione. He's Italian like me. Of course, we're all cage charmers, us Italians, right? But he's uniquely positioned to talk about who this guy is and also why people do horrible crimes. Welcome, Dr. John Brady. How are you today?
Yeah, great, Gary. It's always nice to be in the company of a good Italiano interviewer. So I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to talking about Luigi Mangione.
Yes. Well, I'm going to show you a book here for everybody to see it so they know what we're talking about, and you can talk about it now. You can see
Okay,
it on
so
the screen.
yes, exactly. So breakdown is a description of several murder cases, including Sirhan, Lee Harvey Oswald, and including O.J. Simpson, the Unabomber, and more recently Luigi Mangione.
Wow,
The
what a group of people.
Yeah, and there's psychological commonalities amongst all of these particular people, particularly the connection that Mangione had with the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, that goes back along with Ted Kaczynski 30 years ago, of course, was the Unabomber who had killed several people in his attempt to reorganize society. I see these people like uh, Mangione and the Unabomber as people who are engaging in what I call vigilante tourism, that they're looking for a cause celeb to prove that they're right in their actions. So they're kind of like reverse Robin Hood characters where they're actually doing evil and they're trying to construe that evil as being positive. And this is the cornerstone of the Mangione motivation, where he and his hero, Ted Kaczynski, wanted to overthrow the prevailing government. In Mangione's case, it was the healthcare system that he
Here,
thought,
by the way, John, here's your website. It's
oh, yeah,
johncbrady.com. You have
yes,
all his books you can see there, talk about his practice areas, and everything else. I want to get to Luigi right now, if you
yes,
don't mind, because
please.
this is what I'm getting from I'm looking for your review. And tell me if I'm on target here, John.
Okay.
Um, People are annoyed, upset, and feel frustrated with this great divide in this country between the rich and the rest of us. It seems that people work very hard to get to a certain point in their life, and then they switch, and the remainder of their life they work to keep other people down and keep themselves in the elite. And that seems to get a lot of people upset. And unfortunately, what it does, it gets some specific people so upset they do some heinous crimes. Am I in the right track, Doctor?
Yeah, I think you're on the right track, and I think this really specifically was appealing to Mangione, who came from a very wealthy family, Baltimore real estate family.
Oh,
He,
he's a wealthy family. I didn't even know that.
oh yeah, very wealthy family. He had all the capitalistic ideology imbued in him. He suddenly changed his opinion on society, just like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, did, and then he became a social justice warrior, what I call the tourism person looking for a cause to prove that his belief systems were correct and everybody else's was wrong. So he had a little touch of this superiority syndrome that by eliminating Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, then he could change or alter the way that the healthcare delivery system is administered throughout the United States or through capitalistic countries. What the bottom line is that what he's looking for is a economic revolution, as you say, with certain rich people at the top who he perceives as having all the privileges without the responsibilities of taking care of those who were in lesser classes.
So, Doctor, we got 1 minute left. I know these are quick fire interviews. I'd love to talk to you longer, but
So would I.
don't forget to go to his website, johncbrady.com. It's really simple. John C. Brady, look at all his books. Buy his most recent book,
Yes,
Breakdown. It's on Amazon. And go to his website and learn about Luigi because I think he's very interesting. And
very intriguing person.
we got about 20 seconds. Anything you would like to close with?
No, I really appreciate the opportunity to present, my case of what I think Luigi Mangione is really all about. We don't have any real psychiatric diagnoses of him, but I have my suspected opinions concerning what he might be diagnosed with and what his legal defenses could be in the state of New York, where diminished capacity is one viable defense to show that he wasn't 100% responsible for the killing of the CEO.
Thank you very much, John. God bless
Thank,
you. I'd love
thank,
to talk more and go buy his book, Breakdown.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
David, nice seeing you.
Yes, greetings. You look great.
Hey,
David, hi, how are you?
thank you.
Yes. Hello to you also.
Okay, well, we're on quick fire interviews, and I'm going to introduce my next guest, Dr. David Mantik. We're talking all the doctors today. I love it. He spent many years in private practice in Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, California. A lot of money there, and he became a radiation oncologist, which is, the two go hand in hand, right? I have no idea. He's currently licensed in 8 states, working in Ohio and New Zealand. Hey, please, doctor, take me on your next trip, okay? In his spare times, he writes about the JFK assassination, which is similar to our last guest, and 9 full days in the National Archives. So, talk about your book. JFK was killed by consensus. Is that your last book, doctor?
This is my last book about the JFK assassination, but I am deep into my next book called Evil is Eternal. So that's an even bigger subject than JFK.
Okay, well, where can we find out about Evil is Eternal? I like that title.
I like the title very much. It's about how we as human beings must be vigorous and alert every day because evil is always with us. Sometimes we encounter it directly, as I discuss in my book. Other times it's a little more remote, but it's always present in the world as long as we have human beings around. So it's a really bigger question even than JFK. So I'm not going to write any more about JFK, I don't think, because it's getting a little boring. We know what happened. The pieces are almost all present. The jigsaw puzzle is about 95% complete. So we see the big picture now.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And I want to hear, is there a website that you have a website that I can go to?
Yes, just type in the Mantic View, the Mantic View, Mantik, and it should pop up.
Hold on. Okay, tell me about it.
Well, there's a very interesting photographic supplement there for my book, JFK Was Killed by Consensus. There are nearly 100 pages of photographs of main characters in the JFK assassination that I still even find interesting to look at. You can get a sense of who was involved in this whole story by just looking at these pages.
Okay, unfortunately I wasn't given your website, but we can work on that. Demanticview.com. I can't seem to get
No,
there.
.org, themanticview.org. But I
Oh,
can usually type it in just by writing Themantik, View, View.
Got it. So tell me about that.
About the website.
No, about your book.
Oh, my book, of course. My book addresses three major questions that most people are interested in if they have even a little bit of interest in this case. And it's about who pulled the triggers in Dealey Plaza, who ordered the execution, and why did they do it? So if you're interested in any of those three questions, well, that's what my book is about. And
Now,
the
your most
answer,
recent book, I don't see your most recent book on your website. Is it there?
yeah, the picture of the front cover is right there on my left as I view this.
I thought the book was Evil is Eternal.
No, Evil is Eternal will be out in a year or so.
Okay, okay. So this is the most recent book. Let's take a look.
You know, that's it.
Yeah,
You're up to date.
everybody was against him for some reason. He was a pretty good Democrat, to be honest with you, but he was killed by consensus. What do you think that means?
Well, it means that the powerful elite in this country basically agreed that he was a traitor and it was better to save the country than to save JFK. So,
Wow. And did
yeah.
they? Was the end result good or bad?
Oh, it was awful. It
Thank
was
you.
really awful. But
Thank
we've
you.
seen this before in history. Remember, Julius Caesar was killed by Brutus and his friends from the
Yes,
Senate, and
yes.
they did this in order to save Rome. And what happened after Julius Caesar was killed? It was total chaos and war.
I want to just point out that in the Bible, there are many times that there were assassinations in order to get control, and every single time it did not go well. The
It
only
did
time it
not.
went well was when David, who had a chance to kill Saul, never did him. So we have that example in the Bible. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, indeed. That's a very good example.
So what these people do then is they think they have the right to do something for the good of the people,
They know it. They are absolutely sure,
but they're wrong.
but they're wrong.
How do
Exactly.
you convince someone the opposite?
Well, you and I encounter these people every day, don't we? We all know people who are absolutely convinced and wrong. This is a universal human trait, and it's part of what's in my next book, Evil is Eternal. We can't get these memes, we call them MEMES, out of our brains. We're stuck with them, many of them from childhood on. And I have had to work very hard myself to get these out of my head, and I'm slowly succeeding at age 85. So
Well,
if
you
it
look
takes
great,
me, yeah, if
doctor.
it takes me this long, you can imagine that some other people might not get there by the time they're 85.
God bless you. Well, quickly, we got about a minute left. What suggestions do you have for people who are convinced they're right, whether they are or not? How can we as human beings do a checkup from the neck up, as they say?
Well, you have to be open-minded, but that's a very difficult thing for most people to do. The human brain is not designed to be open-minded. The human brain is designed to protect your beliefs. It
Okay.
works very hard to protect your beliefs. It does not want to be open-minded.
Well, I'm going to be, I know these are quick fire interviews, and we're about to get our next guest on, Bob Nelson. He's going to be on the phone, hopefully. Hello, Bob. Hey, David, Dr. David, thank you so much for joining us. I've
Yeah,
got
it's
my,
been my pleasure.
and
Carry
I hope that
on and be well.
go buy his book, Dr. Mantek. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, hello. We are here, Mr. Bob. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me today, my friend. Thank
Oh
you.
no, I'm very good. I'm very good to have you. So we're going to talk about a couple of things, right, with you, and I'm excited about hearing about them. Um, Tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I think this is a story which, for whatever reason, has been undervalued, or if you're a conspiracy theorist, suppressed. But this is a deeply family story, but it's also, I believe, a national story and a story that needs to be told. And with the publication of the book that we had in June of this year, we're getting the story out now. And we would like to get it into a feature film or documentary because it has all the elements, the compelling drama, the intrigue, the assassination. It's got all the elements there to make it into the silver screen, so to speak.
Well, the title of your book is very exciting. It's very different. I don't know if I really understand this. So the title of your book is LBJ's Mortal Wound. Is that correct?
That's right. LBJ's Mortal Wound, colon, LBJ's Mortal Wound, colon, the Don Reynolds story.
Okay. So I'm going to show a picture of your book. I know you're not on video, but I am. So I'm going to show everybody a picture of your book. Please educate me because I'm a little confused. He was never assassinated as far as I know. LBJ was never.
Yeah.
So what was the mortal wound? Could you educate me?
It's interesting. Bobby Baker, who was LBJ's confidant and assistant during that period of time, said that if he would have talked, I would have inflicted a mortal wound on LBJ. So it's borrowed essentially partly from Bobby Baker. But regarding the mortal wound, my uncle, I need to set the context here. It's November 22nd, 1963, right?
Yes.
And it's a tale of three cities. I don't want to be kind of encyclopedic here, but I don't think the audience knows that we have three cities involved at that not just on that day, but on that very minute. On that very minute that the bullet hits Kennedy, as that car turns on Elm Street and the bullet hits John Kennedy, we have Life magazine in New York preparing a special cover story on the Vice President of the United States, which would essentially remove him from office. That's New York. That's the second city. But that's not the only thing.
Wait. Let me make sure I understand. They were going to do a hit piece on LBJ. Is that correct?
Exactly. I spoke with the man who was a part of that.
And quickly, what was that about? What was the piece going to be about?
It was all about Johnson's background in Texas, all the deals that he had made. Also, I believe there was a part of his dealings when he was vice president with Bobby Baker. I spoke. The gentleman's name was Jim Wagenford. I have that in my book. Again, it's another reason to get the book. We got the background to all this stuff. But anyway, he says upon publication of that, Johnson would have been out and potentially facing prison time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the second city. We got New York. We got Dallas. What's the third city?
The third city is Washington, D.C. at that very moment. As the people in Life magazine are preparing this article in New York, a man named Don B. Reynolds, my uncle from my mother's side, is handing over documents to Senate investigators in Washington, D.C. that implicate Lyndon Johnson in political corruption.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Help me here. So we got two New York, D.C. They've got horrible information about LBJ. LBJ is already implicated in helping get Kennedy killed. Maybe he was doing it because this stuff was coming out and he needed to get him killed quickly. I don't know. We could just ascertain or guess that. Yeah. But what happened to these reports? Did they just say, "Oh, now he's the president, we can't do anything"?
Here's what happened is my uncle reached for the documents and said, you won't need these. By the way, this is noted with 2 Pulitzer Prize winners writing about my uncle, Robert Caro and Clark Mollenhoff, 2 Pulitzer Prize winners. My uncle grabbed for the documents away from the Senate investigators. You won't need these. I'll be happy to testify against the vice president, but I'm not going to testify against the president. And the Senate investigators said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Reynolds, those are our documents now. There's nothing you can do about it." You know what happened?
Nothing.
My uncle fled the country for 4 years.
Wow, because he was afraid for his life.
Not only that, we had death threats.
Of course.
He couldn't escape the death threats when he went to Nassau. And I've got those death threats documented in the book.
Oh, my goodness. Because, and where did they come from? Did they come from LBJ, as far as we know.
Well, let me give you an example of this.
I know, and by the way, we're coming. We got about a minute left. These are quick fire interviews. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, he says I was my phone ring was ringing in Nassau, and it connected me with a person named This is Bobby Baker, and I'm making one more effort to protect myself from further difficulties brought by you talking to Senator John Williams and the two attorneys appointed by the Justice Department. He says, Don, you've caused a lot of problem with big people, but if you agree to return to the United States to testify as state witness, you won't survive.
Probably true.
So these all escapades are in the book. Luckily, my uncle did survive. I've gotten the documents from a number of universities and also my personal papers. I think it's quite a compelling read. Quite a compelling read of a whistleblower in American history.
Well, the LBJ's mortar room. Go there and get there. As you know, Dr. John Brady, we are. I'm sorry. As you know, we are Bob Nelson. We are on a tight schedule here, so we're going to the next interview with Stephen Williford. Thank you so much for. Thank
you very much for your time, and I really appreciate it.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we're here now with my good friend Stephen Williford. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Doing well. How are you
There
doing?
he goes. Hey, Merry Christmas, my friend. So you are the lucky recipient of being the last interviewer. And well, in the past, I would only give you 3 minutes because of the time, but we've had a change in our schedule. And now next week, from now on, I'm going to have a whole hour. So we can go on maybe 10, 15 to about, 4:40 or something. So there's no rush today. I love your hat. Cowboy Christmas. Is that what I call that?
I could do this hat or I could do the typical one.
Oh no, I love that one. Merry Christmas. Hey, Christ is the reason for the season. I hope you're not upset by that, but that's what I believe.
Absolutely. Jesus Christ is the reason for the season.
You're a good friend. I met you a few months ago. I traveled to Texas and we had a fantastic meeting, good lunch. You gave me a little gift. I appreciate it. I gave you my book. And I've come to know you and I feel an affinity with you, what you're doing. Let me give some background. I've done this before, but I need to, just my own, from our audience here. Stephen Williford is with Gun Owners of America. That's gunowners.org. He also has his own website, which is thebarefootdefender.com, thebarefootdefender.com. I'm going to show those websites shortly. But the bottom line is there was a crazy person that went to a church to try to kill people. Unfortunately, he was successful in killing some, but he would have killed a lot more had not Stephen been outside barefoot, heard gunshots, run inside, got his AK-47, ran outside.
AR-15.
AR-15. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was already inside, but yeah.
Okay. I thank you for helping me through. He got his bazooka, whatever you call it, his AR-15, and yelled at the guy who was just about to shoot a friend of his. So the perpetrator turned and started shooting at Stephen, which is the craziest thing in the world. You're inside your house, you hear gunshots. The next thing you know, you're in a gunfight. This is the OK Corral. We're out in Texas, and this is crazy. That gentleman shot about 10 shots at you. He hit the car in front of you. Bullets went over your head. But thank God that you are a good shot, Stephen, because you shot 6 shots and hit him 6 times. 2 were very serious. 1 was a graze, and the other ones hit his body armor. But thank God, because of you, you stopped the killing and brought an end to it. Since then, you have become an advisor, a trainer to churches of how to defend themselves. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. So I just want to say to the audience, if you are going to a church and you are concerned about the increased violence against Christians, and you can't deny that it's true, it's happening, and you want to protect your congregation and your people, contact Stephen Williford, and he will come and do a proper training. Is that a good introduction, Stephen? Did I go too long?
That's an excellent introduction. Thank you so much. I'm
No, thank you.
tra-
Thank you.
traveling on Friday to Dallas, where we're doing a seminar called Protecting the Flock.
Oh, I like that. I
So
like
I'm going to
it.
be at a church with the GOA table and signing people up for Gun Owners of America. You can go to gunowners.org and sign up.
Right here.
Uh,
Here's gunowners.org. Gun owners, that's there. Okay, you met with Johnson. He's the Speaker of the House. Pretty important person, very important. And obviously, he's pro Second Amendment, talking about saving the filibuster. I don't even understand what that is. And Bondi, there's some concern about her. There's so much here. We can't cover it all, but tell me what's the most important issue you want to talk about today?
well, the Supreme Court looks like it's going to discuss picking up the so-called assault weapons ban, and we call them modern sporting rifle ban, and the magazine capacity bans, uh, and they're standard capacity magazines. So, the Supreme Court is going to look at it again, and hopefully that this time they grant it cert. And if that happens, that means that the Supreme Court is going to listen to arguments and make a decision on the whole nation. This will affect not only California, but all nations from East Coast to West Coast, all states, East Coast to West Coast. And hopefully we will get them to overturn the assault weapons ban and the magazine capacity bans and
Let's
stuff.
let's
And
talk about that, Stephen. Let's talk about what that means because I'm not sure everybody understands it. So yeah, there are AR-15s, there's AK-47s. They look different. Basically, they're just a rifle like any other rifle. They just have a different look. That's the bottom line. Can they carry a lot of magazines with a lot of bullets? Well, I don't know what the issue is of limiting the number of bullets. If you are a illegal holder of a gun and you are crazy and you have 45 bullets, I'm going to make up a number, in your magazine, and you're defending a church and the government says you can only have 2 bullets, well, what's going to happen to the church?
yeah, they're going to be in trouble because the criminal doesn't care about all the laws that you pass, all the bans that you do. Criminals don't care. They're going to use they're going to get guns. They're going to use the guns for destructive purposes. And the thing is you want law-abiding, God-fearing men and women like myself that would stand between innocence and evil.
Exactly. So, what that is a background, I'm a little concerned. How many bullets in a magazine are they saying is too much?
Well, like in California, I think they have a 10-round magazine ban. Anything over 10 rounds is
Okay.
banned in California. And right along with other states also. And you how many people are coming in? How many people are going to attack it? And I hate talking this way, but we're seeing a lot of terrorist activity right now. 2 soldiers were shot in New York recently,
Yes. Well, I think
and
one passed away, right?
one passed away, and the other one's still fighting for life.
By the
Uh,
way, I'm showing on the screen your book, A Town Called Sutherland Springs. This is about the church and about the attack and what happened. And I think just go to his website, thebarefootdefender.com, buy that book. You still owe me one, Stephen. I'm still waiting for it.
yeah.
Uh, and and you can see that here. So, and I do want to talk about Gun Owners of America. That's who you represent. So I want to give them. Please go to gunowners.org. There's so much here, and I want to talk about gun owners for a second because they don't get the PR, the news that the NRA does. It doesn't mean that they're not doing a lot for the Second Amendment. They are
We do more
pretty
than
much
any other organization fighting for your rights. And we try to fight them before they become into law because it's much easier to stop something tyrannical from making it into law than it is to fight through the courts to prove that it is unconstitutional after it's already been passed.
So
But we're
please
doing that also.
go to
We're
gunowners.org and
fighting through the courts. And gun owners of America, they send me to fight in state capitals and to use my story to make sure that the people that are voting on these things understand that a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun, and it happens daily. It
yes.
happens all over this country that they don't get reported most of the time when it happens, but it happens all the time. And you know, I would say I hope it never happens to one of your listeners, but chances are sooner or later some of your listeners are going to be confronted, and I would
Well, we are
think
talking to people in New York. So there's been an uptick in violence in New York. That's my understanding. By the way, before I forget, annual membership for your organization, gunowners.org, is only $25 a year. Please, this Christmas season, uh, Steven's wearing a Christmas hat there, the Santa hat. Give $25. So to this organization, it goes to defend the legal cases against the Second Amendment, which is very important.
and
What?
if you sign up as a lifetime member, it's $1,000 for a lifetime membership. And if you click that button and go there, you'll find that they can break it up into payments for you. So if you look at it, you can even do a $50 a month payment until the $1,000 is paid off. So you don't have to pay the $1,000 up front if you want to be a life member. And we love our life members. Goals this year is going to be in Iowa and in Des Moines, Iowa. And our lifetime members get certain privileges. As a lifetime member, all your favorite YouTubers and stuff have a VIP room, and they go and hang out in the VIP room. The VIP rooms are open to our life members also. So you can come and meet
Gunowners.org.
your favorite YouTuber, meet politicians that are going to come and speak at our events and stuff. And so you get special privileges with a life membership.
Now you have a meeting coming up in Dallas. What is that about?
It's called Protecting the Flock, and that's this weekend. And I'm going in where they're training a church, or probably multiple churches, but meeting at one church. And there'll be training sessions and stuff, how to set up a safety response team and how to communicate on the radios, how to protect your youth and stuff, and how to identify persons of, we call them JDLRs, just doesn't look right if they're coming into the church and maybe walking with a limp or with a backpack and they just look sketchy. We tell you how to identify them and not necessarily harass them, but to watch them to make sure that there's nothing really bad going on. You know,
Oh, absolutely. We have to protect our congregations. We have to take a Christian. Listen, from my perspective, it's real easy. The more Christians in the world you have, the more law-abiding citizens you will have, and the less policing and laws that you will need. And that's why we need people want a peaceful life. They want a peaceful, profitable life. And having a gun and defending yourself is part of having a peaceful life.
absolutely. What's the old saying? Better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war.
Ah, I agree with that one. Yes, definitely, absolutely so, because we have to defend ourselves. And I want to remind people the Second Amendment was written not to so that people could have guns for going hunting. Oh, that's one of the benefits. The main reason for the Second Amendment is to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's the important thing. And regarding the Supreme Court case that's coming up regarding the type of gun you can have versus the type of magazine you can have, the bottom line is good people that get good guns. We need more of those to protect us against the evil people.
Absolutely. So stats show that when the second gun shows up at a mass shooting, that's when the dying stops.
Well, I like that. When the second gun shows up, the dying stops. That's exactly what happened in your case. Unfortunately, how many people, I think there was, how many people did he kill in that church?
Killed 26 people and wounded 20 more.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible. I'm
And
so
there
sorry.
were only 49 people in the church. Do the math. There were only 3 people that walked out of the church without a bullet.
Wow. Did he have some type of automatic gun?
No, he just had way too much time. Myself, I couldn't even get there fast enough. I was made aware of what was going on. I had to get into my safe. I had to grab a rifle. I had to grab a handful of ammunition and run across the street. Uh, I was relaxing at my home. I was in my bedroom. I didn't have shoes. Uh, and my daughter came in and said, Dad, there's somebody shooting at the church. I didn't grab my shoes, but I had to get into the safe and get my gun. And, people say, well, just call the police. From the first 911 call that happened, it took the police 19 minutes to get there.
He would have killed 100% of the people by the time.
And they were 7 minutes behind me. It took me too long to get into the fight, but it would have been much worse if he would have had the 19 minutes before the police showed up.
Roughly how many minutes was the shooting going on before you had distracted him and stopped him?
Way too long. He dropped 15 30-round magazines in and around the church out
Wait
of
a
his
second. Wait. 15 times 30? That's
400 and yes.
well,
And
so but it wasn't an automatic, was it just a semi-automatic?
semi-automatic,
So
but
but he
he
didn't stop. He just shot.
but
400 rounds?
he started shooting through the outside windows and walls before he moved in.
Wow.
And then he started shooting inside the church, and that was just the AR-15 magazines. He also shot several magazines of 9mm with his pistol.
My goodness. Thank God you stopped him. I'm sorry for the people that did lose their lives and the people that were injured, but this is why we need churches to take your class, to get prepared and to know what to do in a time of craziness because this country is going crazy. Stephen, I always enjoy talking to you. You know that. I consider you a friend. It was great to meet you. Hopefully, we'll meet each other again. Have a great time at the meeting coming up, which is in Dallas. I just encourage everybody to go to gunowners.org and protect our Second Amendment rights. And please go to Stephen's personal website, which is thebarefootdefender.com, and buy his book about the event we've been talking about and just interface with him. Any last words, Stephen?
Just please go sign up, be part of the solution. It's time that if you own a gun and you're not a member, it's time for you to get out and be a member. Is say, well, I'm a member of the NRA. Fine, so am I. I'm a member of the NRA. I'm a member of Second Amendment Foundation. I'm a member of National Association for Gun Rights, and I'm a member of GOA. And I work for GOA because I believe that we are doing more than anyone else. With my story, I could probably work with any one of those organizations. And I do believe in the shotgun approach. The more of these organizations you're a member of, the more chances you have of making a difference. But Gun Owners of America is the lead. Everybody else follows what we're doing.
Thank you
Please.
very much, Stephen.